You think this is something we should probably do together, right?
I don't know that I want to do it at all. Generally, as a rule, I try to stay away from organized crime. I'm not even sure this is our kind of thing, to tell you the truth. There's a good chance he just owed someone money and he's now somewhere off the coast, enjoying a permanent vacation.
So what you're saying is we should go to the beach.
All right, we can wait till the evening and see what's going on at the hardware store.
It's worth a look.
Pretty much you just hang around for the day then?
And I've got to formulate a lot of plans in my head in case I do come face to face with this Rico guy. And also convince him I may be a Fed and he doesn't want to kill me.
After about an hour, I get bored as hell and decide to go out and see the town.
That happens. Pretty much around 7 p.m., Eric, you roll into the motel complex. Gerald, there's a knock on the door.
Boom, boom, boom. Open the door. It's ATF.
Do none of you see me doing the opening the door gesture on the screen? Seriously.
No.
Can I not roleplay for 5 seconds? I love roleplaying, but I just want to fix this. What the hell? What are you doing here, Eric?
But I could always leave.
No, I thought you were going to see your mom. If you'd like to turn over some rocks, by all means. But I got nothing.
Oh, sounds like a great time. From here, I want to look over the information they gathered and then do my own deep dive on the web, see if there's anything there. I'm looking into the Italian connection.
Okay.
And seeing if there's anything more on Mr. Giovanni and looking into his larger network. Because if you're Italian and you're in Florida, you answer to some higher people in better cities. So I want to see how legit the dude is, how connected he is, and see if there's any inconsistency in the way that they handle some of their shadier businesses.
A cursory investigation of Mitchell, you're able to pretty much do a credit check on the guy. You find out that the guy is not doing well financially. He is deep in debt up to his eyeballs, multiple credit cards that are maxed out, and you do find a recent bank deposit of $10,000 about a month ago. There's a definitive financial link between Mitchell and Togo Hardware. And then as far as digging a little bit deeper, you are 50% sure that it's likely he's skimming from the Don of the area.
Oh, I'm only more further convinced that this is probably just not our kind of thing. I mean, that's great if we need to muscle him, but man, I don't want to do that. Also, how did you find all that information on the internet? That's insane. It's mind-blowing. I guess if nothing else, I'm going to wait until Megan gets back before I take any other steps.
Okay, so she's had a responsible evening of killing time. And actually, shortly thereafter, while Megan is still settling in, Joe, you're able to pull up too. Your back is stiff, your legs are sore, you gotta pee, and you're a combination of exhausted and wired. You feel like you're almost too tired to go to sleep.
Answer the door. Look at my watch.
16 and a half hours.
Come on in. You look like hell.
I'm looking pretty damn good then. All things considered. Sorry, am I interrupting something here?
You know what? I'll tell you what. To get comfy, I take the couch cushions that I throw on the bed. I throw them on the floor. You just got here. I'll go run down the street. I'll go get everybody some coffee. I'll be right back.
If I stand still for too long, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'll be useless. When I'll walk with you.
All right.
And I keep asking for stuff, but do you smoke?
Yep.
Can I bone from you?
Absolutely. Here you go. In fact, I hand rest of the pack. They're Marlboro Light 100s.
Yeah, no light went up. I don't really know what I'm doing down here. I just got the feeling just to keep moving, you know?
Yeah.
Just stand around too long and start to thinking.
And that's the last thing you want to do.
How's your case going?
Honestly, I think something awful happened to the man, but I don't think it had anything to do with things that, go bump in the night. Megan seems to still think there's something here, but she's pretty new to this too. I'm guessing she had her own personal grief. So I don't think that's what you really want to ask.
No, it's not. I want to know about that thing we killed the other night. I mean, I know it once was a man, but was that man in control of his actions?
Yes, but also no. Once you're changed, you are changed. Your instincts change. Your values change.
Who do I blame for this? I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, 1 hour we're sitting in this. I'm sitting in a cell. In the next, we're running around chasing down the wolf man on a farm. What kind of satisfaction am I supposed to get out of that? Nothing was brought to justice.
Yeah, that's not how it works. I'd like to tell you that you get your vengeance and you feel better, but that's not true. And if you're a good man, you don't feel good about killing anything, monster or not. I've been doing this a long time, and things don't always make sense. You just kind of do what you can. If you want to know if there's more scary things out there, yeah, there are. Not all of them are human or were human. Probably the less you know, the better.
Pull out a little the rest of the rum that I had in my back pocket. Just kept the bottle now. I just take a hit, for some to cheer hope.
Now I pull out my flask and more of a whiskey on myself. I will say this though, when it was me, I spent a good 2 months in a bottle because I never really crawled all the way out, actually. But this lifestyle also kind of puts you there too. That's probably not the best choice. Most of the people I know decided once they knew what was on the other side, that's where they stayed. It helps some people, I guess, but it gets a lot of them killed. After long enough, it gets all of them killed.
You make it to the coffee store.
And this is probably the most shocking thing. As soon as I open the door, my face is bright and happy. Yeah, let me get 2 large coffees for me. I'm pretty sure I know how Eric takes his coffee. I have no idea how Megan gets her coffee, so I get her one of the fancy ones with a shot of this and some of that, whatever's the most popular. And then I point up to the menu for Joe.
Coffee, black, 2 grams. So once he gets outside, he pours some of it out his cup and pour the rest of his rum into it. I'm kind of curious as to what you guys do. You mind if I tag along tonight?
I mean,
I think just going to a hardware store to check it out.
Yeah.
Set eyes, somebody to keep watch. Make me feel useful.
I mean, I can't stop you from doing whatever you want to do. And like I said, I don't even know. This could literally just be organized crime. Even if it is our kind of thing and it's what you feel like you need to be doing, it's dangerous.
This went up against the wolf, man. I'm feeling pretty stoked right now.
Yeah. This is dangerous either way. If you do go, you're going to need to be on point. So go a little easier on the rum and maybe even catch an hour of shut-eye when we get back. I don't want to die tonight.
Right. Absolutely right.
All right.
Pours out the rest of the coffee.
I just paid for that. Well, I mean, after we get back and get our coffees, pretty much just announced Joe wants to come with us tonight.
Eric, you tagging along?
Sure.
Fantastic. Megan?
That's her idea.
Joe, you kind of drift in and out. You've been riding and working for long enough that sleep can find you, but you're not exhausted so much that the death of your son still doesn't keep you awake. You get half of a nap, and when you wake up, at least you're awake and you don't have to deal with the nightmares. You guys roll past, and the store is closed for the evening, but you do see some lights on in the back. You can see some guys loading up a truck in the back.
What's in the truck?
Looks like they're loading up plasma screen TVs.
From a hardware store.
From a hardware store.
Seems legit.
It takes them about an hour. It's getting close to midnight now, and eventually the place is deserted as far as people go, that you can tell.
I'm sure this is the biggest red herring ever.
Eric, you would notice this place has a lot more security cameras than a hardware store normally would.
All right, well, I want to attempt to loop the feed.
You're able to get into their security camera system, but just barely. This was a really secure system, especially for a hardware store. You're able to loop a feed of nothing going on, and if you want, you've also got access to the security footage.
And I'll pick that out.
Okay, so you're gonna stay put and review the security footage while they go inside.
Mm-hmm.
What you're able to find is that they show you the picture of Mitchell Cartwright, and you see him going in and out of the store every couple of days. He's never there for long.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week, there was a gap of about 4 days where he wasn't there. And then on the 5th day, you see a car pull up and 2 pretty big guys get out and they escort Mitchell into the hardware store. You're just barely able to see a heavyset guy with a cigar talking to Mitchell for, I'd say, a good 5 minutes while the other 2 big guys hold him by the shoulders and stop him from going anywhere. And then Rico leans in. He looks like he's about ready to let the guy go, and then he grabs his hand and snaps his pinky in half. And then while Mitchell is holding his pinky, the other 2 guys go over to the hardware section and pull out some metal strips and some tape. They snap his finger back, and then they tape it up for him. And then Rico looks like he leans in and tells him some things. And then the 2 guys rough him up just a little bit, but not in the face. And then they shove him outside the door. where Mitchell stumbles away.
All right.
Inside the hardware store, what are you looking for?
Records.
So you head to the office.
Yep.
All right, the door's locked. Gerald, make a con game check for you. You haven't met a standard lock that you can't get your way past given enough time.
It's not a database. I got nothing to worry about.
Right. So you make your way in, and there's some physical files there. This would be another con game roll, actually. Megan, you're flipping through the filing cabinet, and you find quite a lot of documentation about the legitimate business that is hardware distribution. Everything looks on the up and up, as far as you can tell. Gerald, you're finding a lot of the same thing, except you get a feeling in your gut that something ain't right about that heating vent. So you go over, you give it a tap, but sure enough, it's loose. You pull it out, and you find just a tiny black notebook. Within the black notebook, you see a series of initials with columns of numbers that are positive and negative. You can't really tell what the numbers mean or who the initials are for. It's written in a type of code, obviously, in case law enforcement finds it. They can't just get the names and addresses of everything they've ever done. But you do see MC -10 at 10. The more that you analyze the situation, your gut tells you that it wasn't organized crime that killed him, at least not directly, not for the amount of money that he owes.
Okay.
The only thing suspicious you find here is that little book, which makes sense. You don't shit where you eat. In fact, him leaving that little book here, you kind of shake your head at that, like I don't care if it's in code. That's not something you should leave here at your legitimate front.
I'm going to at least get like a little satisfaction out of this, and I go get a pen, and on like the second to last page, like I just writes very lightly and small, like "get smarter," and I put the book back and I put the vent back up. One day they're gonna be like, "Wait, who the fuck?" If he's missing, I guess maybe they didn't kill him, but he's still missing. They probably sent him out on a job somewhere. I don't know where.
Well, yeah, he's been telling his wife he's been going to work for the 2 months he hasn't.
Right, but maybe he said something that would cue us into where he was going. I don't know. When people lie, they usually try to use a little bit of the truth to be more convincing. I don't know. I don't have a lead here. I just know that he didn't die here. I'm gonna take a couple hammers and a couple crowbars with me when I leave.
I'm sorry, are we doing a shopping spree?
No, I'm planning for the worst.
I grab a couple of few-way radios.
Anything you touch
Ooh.
from here, wear some gloves.
Yeah, I grab a good pair of gloves off the shelf. I grab a good pair of gloves. Ooh, voltage meter. I take it's the one I always wanted. I take this voltage. He's an electrician by trade. He takes.
That's the Cadillac of voltage meters.
Yeah, I can use that.
You know what? Actually, I don't have anything else here. I'm going back to the car.
Yep, I'm good. I'm glad about. And batteries. I get batteries for the radios.
While we're speaking of it, did we do the anti-possession tattoo?
Wait, you want to give me a tattoo? Tattoo of what?
Oh, I've had one.
Show my tattoo. We have demonic enemies, so literally I don't need them killing me in my sleep in my own motel room.
All right, it's the next morning.
Eric, I mean, we should all talk about this. What our plan is now.
I don't know. I think, he just, got on the wrong side of things.
I'm no longer convinced of that. I'm thinking they sent him on a job, but I haven't gone through the books and knowing how much he owes. It's incredibly unlikely they had him killed. Why rough him up and then kill him? And
Do you have his cell phone number carrier?
You're able to get that information. You're able to get access to his phone through his carrier, turn on the GPS, and you track his belongings to an estate that's a little bit outside of the urban population. So you know where his phone is.
Yep. I found his phone.
Oh.
He's still there, but...
Well, he's been there for 3 days.
An internet search of the place where the phone is at would turn up the Gracia estate, not to be confused with Garcia. This is Gracia. Maria Gracia, a Greek woman, daughter of a wealthy merchant, immigrated to Florida with her husband Andrew Tumble, Scotsman. They were successful merchants. Scotsman, yep, he was a Scot, dealing with everything from spices to cultural antiques. In 1789, Andrew disappeared. Marcia passed away a few years later. Their estate has been passed down to their children. They are still well connected within the antiquities and stoneworking community and are well known for their amazing statues. It's what they built their reputation on.
Right, they're masons and antiquers.
They used to do a lot more of everything. but lately they've moved away from everything that isn't, just a handful of woodworking and a lot of stonework.
Get these folks sell statues. Why don't we go buy some statues?
We can all just go as a giant group and then go back at night if we don't like what we see.
Let's fucking do it.
What is our cover on that then?
Walk in. I'm looking to purchase some statues for my very expensive home.
All of us? Or one very young white girl, one very old white man, and 2 young black men. And we would like to buy a statue for our very expensive home.
Which we clearly have.
Right, of course.
I just tell them you gotta be Kentucky Fried. You need foghorn, leghorn levels.
Oh, boy.
What I say.
Well, I said, boy, watch that car. Watch that car. Fortunately for you guys, I still have a black suit.
You get the things you need. You're able to play dress up and make your way over to the Gracia estate.
I'm Leonard Claiborne. Ain't you ever heard of me?
If you're looking for some stonework for your estate.
I handle books for all the big oil companies. American oil companies.
Oh, yes, of course. You'll have to forgive me. It's been quite the hectic couple of days, but when would you be stopping by?
How about this afternoon? Already flown in.
I'm sure we can make something work. I'll let the master and the missus know that you'll be stopping by.
I go out and I pop my trunk and I pull my bull horns out of the trunk and put them on the front of my car.
Okay.
It's good for a southern impression and it's great for Wendigos.
Yeah. You make your way to a gate. He looks over at you and name, sir?
We have a Mr. Leonard Claymore here for you.
Very good.
Claiborne, son. Claiborne.
I'm sorry, sir, Claiborne.
There you go.
Makes a call on the phone, and he nods his head, and he looks at you, and then he pulls a lever, and a giant iron gate swings open mechanically. And he said, "Just follow the courtyard up to the front. There'll be someone to park your car for you."
See, Donald, we should get one of them for your house. That's classy.
The estate is large, fenced in and well landscaped with bushes and small trees. The driveway leading up to the estate has rows of statue on either side. The artistic style is all classic realism. They look to be skillfully made and very expensive. When you get to the front, there is a person who is waiting to park your car. He's got white gloves and everything. Yes, I'll take your car for you, sir.
Oh no, I stay with the vehicle.
You just tell him where to take it and he'll take care of it for you.
Of course, sir. Right up the stairs. If you'll make your way to the door, the master and the missus are expecting you.
Kyle, where are you at?
I guess I'll be playing the part of, and she's playing debutante. I guess I have no choice but to be the young black fiance.
I don't know why that's funny. Why is that funny?
Makes sense. There you go. This is the new South. Now hurry up, boy, get that car back in.
We Claibornes, we are very progressive. It's better than
obviously a performer, one of those new rappers.
There goes everything. It's way better than what I was going to tell you to be.
The door opens as you approach. Appears to be an elderly servant, very much a very good sir type person. You see standing there is a lady and gentleman. The man who opened the door introduces them. Mr. and Mrs. Amelia and Donovan Gracia. They were expecting you. Welcome to our estate.
Well, thank you for having us on such short notice.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. If there is anything that we can get you, please just let us know, and we will do it for you. Right this way, please.
Actually, I could go for a bit of wine, right, darling?
Did you have a specific vintage or type that you were looking for?
He doesn't know a lot about wine, but he knows a lot about things that are expensive that he doesn't get to have, but he talks himself into. I only know really good wine and box wine.
So you asked for some really good wine.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a couple of bottles of that in the wine cellar. With your permission, Master Amelia and Donovan, might I go get our guests some wine from the cellar? Of course, whatever they need. Do be quick about it, though. I don't have all day. Oh, very good, madam. I will get right on it for you. He leaves. At old man speed.
I think that man might be a ghoul. I think we might have found an incidental monster on this mission.
Everybody except Megan. There's something going on with Amelia and Donovan. They're doing a very good job of covering it up, but there's nervous glances going back and forth. Something's going on that's bothering them, and they're trying to act like everything is fine.
They're racist. I apologize. I never even introduced.
Antithesis Freeman.
There you go.
This here is my daughter, Sally Claiborne, and her betrothed, Antithesis Freeman. Did I say that right, son? Antithesis?
Yes.
I ask that every time.
Yes, it's quite the pleasure to meet all of you. Honey, where are your manners? They're not here to talk. They want to see the statues.
Well, I might be doing both. Talk some business. Am I right?
What are numbers to guys like us? Quality is what you want. That's why you're here. You know,
That's what you're known for, right? Them Garcias?
for generations, going back a couple hundred years.
Hey, while I'm down there with the car,
Yeah.
can I start chatting up the help down there to see if they notice anything weird?
You get the cold shoulder, Joe. You're not a lord. You're not even well off. You're just kind of a driver. They don't feel the need to say anything that might even be perceived as out of line.
I'm gonna ask where the restroom is, and I'm gonna try to walk around.
Someone would be able to let you inside to one of the, and they would lead you to one of the many bathrooms.
This person is going to escort me all the way to the restroom and sit outside the door.
So this is a big place. They don't want you to get lost.
I make indications that I'm gonna be there for a while. You know, my stomach has been bothering me. So once I see it, I'll tell them thanks, and I'll be back in a bit. As soon as I know they're cutting the other way, I go take a hike.
You let them know that there's going to be a little bit of trouble down under. They're not really that interested in hanging around within smell of that. They do tell you how to find your way out when you're finished. They leave, you've got access to the inside of the home.
I start walking around. I start snooping. I guess he doesn't really have much of a plan if he's walking around just looking for things that are out of place.
Joe, you're starting to give the place a look around. I'm going to come back to you and let you know what you find. And you are getting escorted to the basement where all of the fine statues are kept. And this was brought over from my ancestors in the 1700s. You can tell that it's authentic because of the leafing here. We take great care to make sure that that's polished only with a very specific brand that preserves the longevity of the silver. Not a lot of people know how to care for their silver properly, but when you have antique silver, it's a special kind of polish that keeps it in that pristine condition. And he does this with paintings.
As a hunter, one thing I do know about is silver.
Yeah, so in fact, I guess you learned something about how to keep your silver its shiniest. You don't want any silver polish, you want Jackson Avery silver polish.
Oh, you know, I use the brand blah, blah, blah. It's always worked well for me, but if you say so, I'm going to have to give that a look.
Oh, well, that's more for the modern silver.
Oh.
They make the silver making process, and he blah, 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 about how silver alloys are different now than they used to be. And
Oh, when I get home, I'll dump everything I got right down the drain. Go right out to the store and get some. Probably got to order that from overseas, though, don't you?
it comes from Finland.
Of course it does.
He gets ready to open the door to go to the basement, and from a side hallway, out of the corner of your eye, you see Joe poke around a corner and then immediately poke back around the corner. And Donovan and Amelia get ready to go downstairs. If the master and the lady would hold on for just a moment, please. You see an old, slow butler walking with a bottle of wine. He's trying to get to you, but you just were walking too fast. I'm afraid if you start going down the stairs, I'll never be able to catch you in time. He's got a couple of glasses. He pours you some generous portions, and quite the fine vintage we have here. Now, if you want the best experience, you'll want to hang on to that for about 15 minutes, and then drink it so it will have time to breathe, as I had not had time to let the wine breathe before you got here. Will there be anything else? I don't think my knees can handle a trip down into the basement today.
Oh my God. When, you know, now that you mentioned, I'm kind of hungry.
I had asked the master and the missus to install an electric chair going into the basement so that I would not be so limited in my duties regarding that floor of the house.
You know, I had one of them installed just so I didn't have to go up and down the damn stairs myself. Figure I got this much money, well, I got to handle stairs. It's a good investment.
You're a young and capable man. I would not give up the use of your legs so casually, because someday you may not have the choice. But what do I know? If the masters would enjoy their tour, I have other household things to attend to.
We might hire this guy after we kill his masters. Can't pay much, but I promise 0 stairs.
Will there be any running?
No, but there might be dying if you don't.
Very good, sir. You make your way downstairs, and it's so many stairs. God damn.
Oh, my aching knees and hips.
Joe, eventually, I can go to Joe around because it's going to take these guys a while to go down the stairs. You notice in one of the corners of the house there is a statue that is under a sheet. It looks a little bit out of place, and you've spent the last 10 minutes or so wandering around looking at expensive things and family portraits. So you give yourself a peek under the sheet, and it's different from the other statues that you've seen. This one kind of looks like some